The Raiders have a 90-man roster right now, but by 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, it has to be down to 53. The Raiders have a good idea who the bulk of those players are on that roster. More than 40 of them stayed in the Bay Area and didn't even make the trip to Seattle. But there were a few roster spots that were still up for grabs. And the final bit of tape for the coaches to evaluate happened tonight here in Seattle. John Gruden says he's going to start evaluating the players with general manager Mike Mayock on the plane on the way home. And he says there will be some tough decisions to make.
We're not just evaluating our players either. We're evaluating players around the league. Corey Leggett is here working. We're trying to get him ready to play. We have some tough calls, no doubt. We have some tough calls. We have a couple defensive tackles who we think are pretty good players who haven't played. So it's a very difficult situation indeed.
I think overall, through 4 preseason games, played well. First game would have liked to have a couple throws back, but other than that, we moved the ball well tonight. I think Nate played really well too. So, we're all pulling for each other here. It's not like like what some people may think. We're all in this together.
I thought there's always things you can get better at, but it's pretty good. Obviously, would have loved to win and get the 2-point conversion at the end. Just building blocks, learning blocks, and move on from here.
Hate to see the preseason end. Excited about the regular season, but what we have in store with these cuts is going to be very, very hard. You get attached to these guys. I really like this team. We have some tough decisions to make. I'm really proud of the guys, the way they finished.
A couple of important notes here. You heard from both of the guys vying for the backup quarterback spot. John Gruden said that he has not made a decision on who QB2 will be for the Raiders this year, and still said that they could carry 3 quarterbacks instead of 2. Gruden has said traditionally on teams that he's been the head coach of, he has carried 3 quarterbacks in the past. So we'll see where that decision lies. As for some of those young rookie guys that are right on the bubble, Keelan Doss per se, the wide receiver, the Raiders have to decide whether to keep him on the roster, because if they try to put him on the practice squad, he would first have to go through waivers, which means any of the other teams in the NFL can pick him up. And after the preseason that somebody like him has had, there's a good chance that the Raiders would lose control of his rights. So a lot of things that are going to work into these decisions over the next 36 hours or so. We'll continue to stay on top of it. For now, that is the latest. We're live in Seattle. Vince, let's kick it back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Kev. Great work on the preseason. Hurry home, safe travels, because we got a lot of work to do this regular season. Set the alarms and DVRs, 9 a.m. on Sunday. Kevin and I, along with Raiders alum Lincoln Kennedy, are getting you, Raider Nation, set for the regular season with an hour-long season preview show. We've got the interviews and stories from Oakland to Vegas you want and can only get right here on Fox 5. What time? Sunday, 9 a.m. We'll see you then.